Hello everyone, I'm Lionel Grotto, I'm CEO of Choose Paris Region. Our agency supports the growth of foreign companies here in Paris and its region. And we pay special attention to companies keen to make a positive impact here. So this webinar is the first of a series dedicated to socially and environmentally responsible initiatives here in the region. So let me introduce Marguerite Filippini. She's Employment and Inclusion Project Officer at Région Île-de-France. Welcome, Marguerite. And Damien Heron, who is Social Innovation Consultant at Group SOS.
Hi,
they were both, hi Damien. They will both present Paris Region support regarding social business. So I guess it's time to get started now. I'm going to leave the floor to the speakers for 10 minutes presentation, and then they will be taking your questions. So Marguerite and Damien, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Thank you everyone for joining us today. Just before starting, just know that you can use the question tool and the chat all throughout the webinar. And of course, we'll take time to answer everything, every question after the presentation. So please feel free to use the question tool. So I'm Marguerite. I work for the Paris Region Administration, along with Florence Oulès, the chief of the mission. And our job is to help developing social economy in the Paris region. To achieve that goal, we use several programs. We have one accelerator for social business. We use financial support, and we also foster partnerships. The reason you're here today is to better understand how to enhance your company's social impact thanks to your present or future activities in the Paris region. So the Paris region offers many opportunities for your company to develop its social impact. Next slide, please, Damien. Thank you. So first, you can reinforce and complete your CSR strategy by contributing to local development, by supporting local social and solidarity initiatives, and by strengthening your territorial anchorage. Then, of course, you can transform your HR policy into a more inclusive and engaging one. This means recruiting more diverse profiles, attracting new talents, and eventually engaging your employees in your company's collective project. Operating in the Paris region and cooperating with its social ecosystem can also allow you to adapt your commercial offer and foster innovation by developing socially responsible products or services. You can also achieve sustainable purchasing objectives by identifying inclusive and responsible suppliers in the Paris region who can help you adapt your supply chain to new concerns and to new regulations, of course. And finally, and it actually all comes down to this, people are more and more aware of and sensitive to social and environmental challenges we face today, and the demand has shown itself a drastic change in the past few years. And of course, the COVID-19 crisis pushed that even further. Today, consumers are asking for more local and more responsible products and services. So the Paris region can help you adapt your business to these new challenges, and I'll let Damien explain to you exactly what we can do together. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Marguerite. My name is Damien Heron, and I'm a consultant at Group SOS Consulting. You'll learn more about it in a minute. To help you in tackling these various challenges that Marguerite has just been talking about, the Paris region has come up with a specific solution. The region has decided to provide interested companies with a social innovation consulting support. This support is meant to help you enhance your positive community impacts, identify and design new socially impactful projects, and build adequate partnerships with social economy actors. So your company, provided you are willing to undertake efforts on the matter, may benefit from a dedicated social innovation consulting mission. The Paris region will fund this mission, and Group SOS Consulting will deliver it. So that is when we at Group SOS Consulting enter the scene. And so our consulting firm belongs to Group SOS, that is Europe's largest social enterprise, gathering more than 550 social enterprises and over 20,000 employees. operating in 8 branches that all relate to social economy. So in this vibrant ecosystem of social innovation, Group SOS Consulting is the transversal consulting team that aim at working with organizations from public, private, and non-profit sectors to bring them Group SOS multiple expertise and help them achieve their social impact targets. So we at Group SOS Consulting help companies design and implement social innovation projects. And that's what we're tasked to do with you by the Paris region. So the whole goal of this social innovation consulting initiative is altogether to build innovative social economy solutions to specific corporate challenges, to facilitate connections between social economy actors and mainstream businesses, and build a long-term partnership between them. With a specific focus on inclusiveness and solutions that could enhance it within your company. So how does it work? Interested company just have to get in touch with Choose Paris region, the social economy service at the region, and us at Group SOS Consulting. So you will find our contacts at the end of this slideshow. And provided the challenges you face are congruent with those of social economy, and provided a social economy solution to those can be found within our ecosystem, you will then benefit from a dedicated consulting support equivalent up to 5 man days. So to showcase what kind of projects may be initiated at the end of such a social innovation consulting mission, I suggest we go through one practical case and one. For the practical case, let's focus on socially responsible sourcing and socially responsible value chain. The whole point here is to show you how, with our support, you could very operationally act on responsible sourcing and value chain with the focus on inclusiveness I've already been talking about. So within social economy, there are specific enterprises that are committed to offer employment opportunities for those excluded from the workforce. So essentially long-term unemployed, people with disabilities, and also NEETs, that is an acronym that stands for not in education, employment, or training. So those companies will proactively recruit and train these profiles so that they may be able to enter the mainstream job market after they complete a tailor-made professional integration track. And so choosing these companies as subcontractors and integrate them within your value chain, or as suppliers and integrate them within your supply chain, is a great way for a company to contribute to those enterprises' social impact and thus act more responsibly itself. So in Paris region, you will find 2 key stakeholders to help you identify the perfect fit, be it a subcontractor or a supplier, by line of business, location and service type, and these 2 stakeholders are called GSAT and Graphy. Our consulting support at Group SOS Consulting may be to help you identify which business tasks within your value chain could be outsourced to such responsible subcontractors, and which type of purchasing within your supply chain may be contracted with such responsible suppliers, and then help you navigate GSAT and Graphy's directories that map those responsible enterprises. So let's get to the case study now. So that's an example of highly successful partnership between a logistics company and a social actor to facilitate the recruitment of disabled workers. And it's called Logins, a social joint venture by ARES and XPO Logistics. ARES is a leading group of social enterprises committed to fight unemployment in the Paris region. On the other hand, XPO Logistics is a European leading company in the logistics and transportation industry. Both partners came to the table with specific challenges they wanted to tackle. On one hand, you have ARES. For ARES, there are more than 500,000 long-term unemployed in the Paris region, among which 65,000 people are people with disabilities. So ARES wanted to develop new, innovative ways to provide people with disabilities with on-the-job training and future recruitment opportunities. Then on the other hand, you have, as for XPO, many entry-level occupations are facing severe recruitment shortages on positions such as drivers, handlers, logisticians. And plus, the company fails to meet the French legal target for employment of disabled people. So XPO needed to build a pool of trained and experienced logistics operators while improving its corporate practices regarding disability. And so that's why they came up with this idea of a joint venture to which both structures would bring capitals along with their specific skills. So market knowledge and business skills for XPO, and individual social counseling and vocational training for RS. So the joint venture sources 25 people with disabilities a year, provides them with jobs and on-the-job training, and helps them re-enter the job market afterwards. So XPO thus locked up a talent pool among which the company can pick up the most promising profiles at the end of their professional integration track and hire talented professionals while improving its inclusive employment practices. So just let's be honest, that's like a flagship case, a best case scenario. And not all social innovation consulting mission ends up with a new social venture, a social joint venture. But there are so many other things to do. And we'll be very happy to take any feedbacks or questions you may want to share about what we've just discussed. There's no question yet in the chat and question tool.
Maybe Damien, you can go through the process of the whole support mission. So to clarify maybe how it works concretely.
So let's give some operating instructions for those of you who might be interested to join the program. So as I was saying before, it all starts with an email that you will send to Just Paris region, to Group SOS Consulting, and to the region, in which you will specify your sector, the company, the challenges you face, and to which challenges you would like to find an innovative and inclusive solution. Then step 2, the Paris region will instruct your request, and upon validation, then tasks Group SOS Consulting to meet with you to refine your needs. And based on this preliminary needs assessment, Group SOS Consulting will draft for you an opportunity note listing prospective solutions to your need. And Group SOS Consulting will then facilitate a co-construction process to prioritize the most promising solutions with the relevant stakeholders you would like to gather around the table. And upon completion of this process, Group SOS Consulting will deliver a report along with a roadmap detailing the steps to implement the most suited solutions. So the whole idea is really to give you the opportunity to explore the different possibilities offered regarding your company and how more inclusive it could be. Does it answer the question?
Maybe at this point, I can just add one point. Some of you are already present here with a footprint in the Paris region and might have a need to be in contact also with the local public entities in your area to develop local projects around CSR. In this case, we can also facilitate the contacts with the corresponding local authorities and actors of local development that can help you develop your projects in contact with those territories. We try with the region also to identify a list of projects of big magnitude on which we can focus our attention and on be it on energy transition or on waste or on maritime transportation on this not maritime but sea transport on the Seine. So we can also if you have such kind of need of being put in contact with these kinds of projects, we can also help in that. And I see we have a message in the chat from Laurence, who is asking, how can a company qualify to be eligible for the free consulting services? So maybe Damien, Marguerite, if you want to answer.
Yes, sure. So eligibility criteria are, I mean, any company is eligible if the challenges at stake are congruent with those of social economy, and if we can have through our first meeting with you a proper assessment of your will to go through your process and to deliver some projects after it. And so that's why we really like when there is like top local executive of your company that supports or engages in the initiative, because for us it's a proof that the initiative will pay off. But that's pretty much it. I don't know if you want to add anything to that, Marguerite.
No, I mean, like every company is eligible. All sectors and all sizes of companies are eligible, and yeah.
So we have another question.
Another
So maybe Marguerite, you wanted to read it. I just got it from you, but you get the opportunity to answer. How long does the consulting assignment last for?
Sorry.
Can you hear me? Can you simply read it in the chat?
Sorry, I had a problem with my audio. So yeah, it depends, of course, on the challenges that you bring to the table. But usually you get a first meeting to determine what are your needs. And in terms of duration, you can have as much as 3 meetings to develop your challenge and your needs, and to get to a final project or action to undertake in order to answer and to address your challenges. So yeah, three meetings would be the approximate duration of it.
Now we have a question coming regarding the employing disabled people and the tax benefits that could come with it, offered by the region. Or can we explain what benefits for a company that employs disabled people?
Sure. So the region per se won't offer any tax benefit, but the state will, so to speak. In France, companies that employ more than 20 people are by law required to employ a given percentage of disabled person, which is like 6%. And if you don't meet this criteria, then you have to contribute to a specific fund called the Azure Feed for private companies. And this is like sort of tax. But so if you employ persons of disability, then you won't have to pay this and you will save that money for your company.
For example, at the Truth Paris region, we are an 80 people. We have an 80 people staff, and we have a number of disabled people in our staff that enables us not to pay for this tax. So it's maybe the reverse of what you're asking, Luis. If you don't respect a certain minimum, you will have to pay. But I think that also today it's not only a matter of tax, but also a matter of how you want your company to be and to be seen, and also the what's the word, having some the culture of difference in a company that brings also a lot of value, I think.
Yeah, I would just add to that on the tax perspective, that if you contract be it for as a supplier or as a subcontractor with one of these specific enterprises that is committed to employ more people with disability than other companies, that we call entreprise adaptée. That's like a French denomination. If you contract with them, then all the money we'll put on that contract might be deducted from the so-called Azure Feed contribution that you have to pay if you don't meet the legal requirements. So that's also, I mean, on the financial side, one more reason to contribute.
In the last minutes of this webinar, that we wanted short, not to just to save your time and have the essential messages. Can you give us an example of a company you are currently working with on this program? Damien or Marguerite, who wants to take this one?
I can if you want, Marguerite. Yeah, we've been working with a bunch of companies, and we had very interesting and meaningful leads before the confinement. I don't know the English for it.
The lockdown, yeah.
The lockdown.
Yeah, the lockdown. But it all puts a stop to some of the beautiful projects we were working on. But to give you like some examples, we've been working in the professional catering industry with a company like Sodexo. We've been working in the banking industry as well, with more industrial companies also. So it's really diverse, and they all consider the challenges through various lenses, be it more from the recruitment side of it or the supply and procurement side of it, all for the most ambitious of them to go up to the joint venture, I mean social joint venture.
Yeah, we also worked with Loxam and media transport, so the sectors are very diverse, and in terms of company size and challenges, it can be really diverse.
Maybe Marguerite, you could conclude with the word answering Katie Chen, who is asking about the fact if this regional initiative useful in raising French companies' awareness on CSR goals. And so maybe if you can like show or explain us what's the region objective, what is like your mission at the region with this special objective that you have, because you have no other focus than this one. And so what does the region do it, and how does it also raise French companies' awareness on a topic that I think is really critical today and really taken by our politicians?
Yeah, sure. So the region's objective is to help the social economy thrive and develop by creating connections with the classical economy and mainstream businesses. So the idea is on the long term, of course, to create more connections, to raise awareness on how companies can engage and be totally included in the social challenges that territories face today. And I would say that the current crisis puts everything really in a different perspective, because of course we have to answer the emergency and the crisis, but for the region it's also a very big stake of how to build a more inclusive and a more conscious way of doing business in the Paris region, and that's a big challenge for us, and we would like to work towards more consciousness and awareness in mainstream businesses. And beyond CSR strategy, it would be a real way for companies to meet with local stakeholders and to find a new way of doing business with more inclusion and diversity. And of course, I totally agree with you, Liliana. It's more than a way to tick boxes of CSR strategy.
Thanks, Marguerite. I think that will be the final word. So we will be contacting those who asked for a meeting. There will be people who have requested a meeting, so they will be contacted this month. There will be a follow-up email also with our contacts. Thanks for attending. I hope we hope that this webinar proved useful, and so see you soon on more CSR projects here. Thanks.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks very much, Damien. Thanks, Marguerite.
Thank you, everyone.